Hi, everyone. I wanted to take a moment to thank you for all of your hard work in Module 3. I absolutely love narrative writing, all of the various elements and craft techniques that we can apply in narrative writing, and the process of becoming an insider. Thank you all for your feedback and experiences and reflections throughout this last module. I really enjoyed reading and listening and interacting with you all as you discussed various elements, including your own writing process as you wrote your own memoir, also analyzing different techniques and concepts such as setting and affecting the plot, organizational scaffolds, the idea of word choice within our writing, effectively using mentor text in small groups and whole groups. And there were a lot of great concepts and ideas brought up within the post in both the VoiceThread and the discussion. So I really thank you for all of your efforts with all of that. So as you finish up Module 3, you will turn in your lesson that you taught to your students, which includes that reflection and also that student work sample. And you will also turn in your personal memoir draft. Please turn in your personal memoir draft as a separate document. Excuse me. And the reason for that is because I will be uploading each of those drafts onto a program called Hypothesis. And you will be able to access Hypothesis through our Blackboard. And we'll be using that program to revise each other's in this upcoming module. So again, please upload your personal memoir draft. Again, it does not need to be perfect by any means, but please upload that as a separate document when you turn in your assignment for Module 3. And again, thank you for all of the excellent discussions, reflections, and analysis of the techniques that go into an effective narrative writing. So in Module 4, we will dive into the importance of revision. I absolutely love revision. It is my favorite step in the writing process. I always tell my students that, and it is absolutely true. So as we dive into this module, Module 4, our final module, we have our overview, of course, our connection to our course objectives, and then just our specific module objectives. So through this module, we will investigate the influence of language diversity on writing development and instruction. We will explore the recursive nature of the writing process and develop instructional context to support the various phases of writing. We will analyze the role of students in writing evaluation, investigate the role of technology in writing instruction, and reflect on practice, evaluate performance, and set goals for future growth. As we scroll down in our Module 4 tab, once again, there is a checklist that you can download here, and then it is also listed here within Blackboard for you. So if we take a moment just to look at the checklist, you will notice that there are quite a few more discussion boards for you to contribute during this module. I'm going to go over the discussion boards, and the reason that there are more discussion boards to contribute is because for the first 5 discussions, you're going to be practicing different grammar brushstrokes, which is a concept you'll be talking about and reading about within the VoiceThreads. And this is just a perspective or an idea of how to revise at a more sentence-based level. So within each discussion, you will be assigned a sentence, and then you will apply that grammatical brushstroke to that sentence as a way to practice revising. So that's why there are a few more discussions in that first week than we've seen in those other modules. Then as we dive into the second week, you do not have as many discussions, but you will be revising each other's drafts. Okay, so that's where I will have everyone's drafts into the hypothesis, and you will then apply the different grammatical brushstrokes to each other's writings and then to your own writing. So in Module 3, when you started your narrative draft, part of that was to include a craft techniques. So what techniques you were using when you were drafting. So that could have been the organizational structure, it could have been something about the lead or the ending or any of those pieces that you read about within your course text or within the content of the online interactive lectures. So in Module 4, you will continue to add to that techniques list, that craft techniques log, and you will be adding your revision techniques. So if you specifically use appositives to revise your sentence structure, you will include that. So whatever grammatical brushstrokes you use to revise your writing, you will include on that techniques log. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to scroll down to week 1 and open that up for us. And again, it looks very similar. You have your VoiceThread Interactive Lecture 4.1. Here we have our collaborative revision of personal memoirs. We're not going to need that right away. I just have that in there so that you see it. We're going to use a program called Hypothesis to provide inline feedback to your peers' writing. And again, that will come after you have already done your discussion. So what I'll do right now actually is I'll go ahead and I will move that for us. So there we go. So you do your interactive lecture as normal, your initial response by Wednesdays, your follow-ups by Fridays, then you will have your discussion. So here's where we see. So the first form is practicing concrete nouns and precise active verbs, then participle and participial phrases, absolute and absolute phrases, appositives, and adjectives shifted out of order. So after you've practiced each of those at a sentence level, 4 and 4.6 is your revising craft lesson development. So thinking about how you will be writing a lesson based on your students' writing. So what specific technique would be helpful to the students' writing based on what they submitted from your assignment 3 or your module 3 activity. So that will be your discussion boards for this first week. And then in that second week, you will be teaching this lesson with your students again, revising with whatever techniques you feel is most appropriate based on your students' writing. And then we will be revising each other's as well. So I'm going to go back. So we can go down to module 2. And then we can see here, once again, we have the VoiceThread interactive lecture. We have the module 4 discussion, which is only the revision lesson reflection. So, and that is because during this second week, again, you will be using Hypothesis to give revisions to your peers, and then you will be teaching your revising lesson and then reflecting. So I want your time more spent on the actual teaching, that lesson that you're doing with your actual students, revising your peers, and then obviously within the VoiceThread as well. Just going to take a quick second. Okay. Then if we scroll down, we see that tab for the collaborative revision for peers' personal memoirs. So this is, again, where we will use a program called Hypothesis to provide inline feedback for your peers' writing. You will comment on each of your peers' writing at least once. You will attempt each brushstroke at least one time in your peers' writing. So there are 9 of us in this course. So you will comment on the other 8 personal memoirs at least once, and you will try the different brushstrokes within your peers. So if I want to try appositives, I might try to look at one of Michelle's sentences and think, where could I revise with an appositive? And then I might go to Michael's and I might look for where can I revise a sentence for adjectives shifted out of order, just to make writing just a little bit more effective. So then just going through and trying these different brushstrokes. Again, this is in week 2, so this is after we've practiced within our discussion boards and within our VoiceThreads a few different times. I want to go ahead and then we have our Mentor Text Collaborative Library, of course. I do want to go to the Assignments tab. All right, so in this module, we will have assignment 4 and assignment 5. So assignment 4 will be our writing portfolio completed, and assignment 5 is the revising craft lesson. So I'm going to scroll down to those very quickly and look at our assignment 4. And so here it tells you our purpose. So in order to become insiders to the writing process, candidates will compose a contemporary memoir, taking the piece through the writing process. The personal memoir will be used for modeling and teaching the narrative craft lesson and as a context for collaborative peer revision. So that's our focus point for Module 4. The writing portfolio project should include the draft with peer feedback, which we will provide in Module 4, and then the final memoir, which you will go back and make any changes that you would like based on your peers' feedback or your own techniques that you would like to try, and the techniques log. So it goes over that a little bit more specifically here. It tells you in Module 3, you submitted the draft. In Module 4, you will submit the following. Posts of specified collaborative revisions using Hypothesis. So in the Hypothesis platform, I will see your post there. So you will submit your completed techniques logs with evidence of revision techniques for Module 4. and then your final draft of your memoir. So your post of specified collaborative revisions will be in Hypothesis. You will turn in your final draft of your memoir, which will include your completed techniques log with the evidence of revision techniques from Module 4. Right down here under Resources, there is a template for the technique log. There is a sample of a memoir and a techniques log, and there is the assignment guidelines and scoring guide. So these resources are there for you. You can open those up, and you could even print those if you prefer. Assignment 5 is your revising craft lesson plan. So you will write a lesson plan based on your students' writing for a specific revision technique. You will then implement this lesson, and after teaching the lesson, reflect on the lesson, the goal setting, and the next step for the students. Once again, there is a revising craft lesson plan template and a revising craft lesson plan rubric provided here for you. You can click on any of these resources, and they will open up for you. This is our techniques log. Here is a sample of a completed memoir with the technique logs at the end. So again, you can see when this person drafted, their technique included a mood lead, they included some summary and scene. And then when they were revising, they focused on precise and active verbs, concrete nouns, similes, participle and participial phrases, positive. So then all of the techniques they tried and then where they attempted those were listed here. And again, this can come from the feedback from your peers or from your own feedback for your own writing. And then the assignment guideline and scoring guide document is also available for you here. And this was in Module 3 as well. So what you submitted in Module 3, what you will submit in Module 4, the technique log sample. So those are just guidelines for the overall process and the resources for assignment 4. So I will stop there. I know that was a lot of information for one video, but I just wanted to make sure that the expectations for Module 4 are clear. We will talk throughout the week, obviously throughout Blackboard, throughout VoiceThread. I will post announcements with any clarifications needed, and you all can always email me as well. Thank you so much. I look forward to this last module with you. Bye.